Revenge films.
My first marriage didn't work out, but I had 2 children with my ex-wife. She got custody of them, and I was all alone. My daughter and my son live with my ex-wife and her new husband. We got divorced because she cheated on me with him. Not only was I cheated on, but my ex-wife got custody of our children, and I was devastated. My current wife, Jill, saved me from my deep despair. She was an energetic and optimistic girl. I was attracted to her personality, and we got married a few years after we met. Honestly, I can't say that I'm fully healed, but I'm happy. After losing my children to my ex-wife and her boyfriend, I was very happy when Jill and I had a child of our own. I met with my other children now and then before I got remarried, but I really didn't feel like their father anymore because they called their new father Dad. I also feared that Jill might leave me someday. I knew how different she was than my ex-wife, but I was still traumatized. But Jill was very kind.
We both may have complicated pasts, but that doesn't change anything, Jack.
I was so lucky to have such a supportive wife. I finally felt like I was moving forward towards a brighter future, and nothing would get in my way. But one day, I got a call from my daughter who was living with my ex-wife. Oh, a call from Brittany. It was nothing unusual, but she didn't call that often, and I remember having a weird gut feeling when I picked up the phone. Brittany's voice sounded like she was about to cry. My ex-wife and her husband were in an accident and passed away. Honestly, the news about those two didn't affect me much, but I was very concerned for my 2 children. They were suddenly left all alone. I wanted to pick them up immediately, but I had a new family now, so I decided to discuss it with Jill first.
I understand. I'd be worried too. Go get them.
I was relieved at how understanding she was trying to be. I'm sorry for putting you in a weird position. After telling her that, I rushed over to my children.
Oh, Dad!
My children, who were in middle school now, saw me and started crying. I was surprised at how much they had grown, but I held them and comforted them. Shortly after, we held a family discussion about who was going to take care of them. My ex-wife's parents and her husband's parents were all summoned for the meeting. Neither family wanted to take them in, and all my grandparents had already passed away as well.
Dad?
My children looked to me for an answer. They knew how I felt about my ex-wife and were old enough to understand what was going on. I could tell how anxious they were about what might happen to them. With everyone else refusing to take them in, if I said no as well, they would end up going into foster care. At the same time, I knew that the decision wasn't mine alone because I already had a new family and a new life.
We want to live with you, Dad!
My children cried for my help, but I was still having second thoughts. After everything I went through with my ex-wife, I was afraid that I might lose everything again if I decided to take them in. I felt terrible about how I couldn't give them a straight answer right away. Of course, I loved my children, but I was afraid of what Jill might think if I suddenly burdened her with 2 more children that were so old and weren't even her own. I just couldn't accept lightly or make the decision on my own. So I left my children with their relatives for a night and decided to go home to talk to Jill about the situation. When I talked to her about it, I was surprised at her unexpected response.
Sure, why not?
She was so nonchalant about it. Are you sure? We'll have 2 more children all of a sudden, and they're not even yours. I knew how much of an optimist she was, but I also knew that this was a life-changing decision that would affect the rest of our lives. I had a more extensive discussion with her, but still, her attitude towards the situation didn't change at all.
Like I said, no problem.
Are you sure, though? It'll mean that they'll be part of our family forever. You understand that, right?
Well, do you understand that I signed up for all of this willingly when I married you? Don't act like you're the first man in this world to bring his children into a new marriage.
Yeah, but those kids were with my ex-wife originally.
So what? If circumstances were different, they would have been family from the get-go, right? It just happened a few years later. That's all.
I could have kept arguing, but she treated it like such a normal thing that I just stopped arguing back.
Those kids are your kids, right? That means they're mine too.
So you're sure about this then?
Yeah, if your kids are fine with it. I have no problem at all.
My wife's incredible capacity as a human being was so touching, all I could do was cry in gratitude.
And plus, the good thing is our baby is still young. It could have been confusing for her if she was older.
My wife was the one convincing me now. I kept asking if it was really okay, but Jill told me that I was being overprotective of her. So we decided to take my children in.
Hello, my name is Jill. I'll be your new mother. Your father has told me all about you two.
Thanks, Jill. My children met Jill for the first time. They seemed nervous at first, but they have gone through puberty, and it has been 10 years since that day. Looking back, a lot happens in 10 years. They went through rebellious stages of their lives.
Shut up, Mom!
They had their fair share of mother-daughter quarrels and so on, but nonetheless, every day was filled with love. Those days have made my children who they are today.
Happy Mother's Day! I got you a present, Mom.
Me too. I finally got my first paycheck from work. Here you go. They both bought her presents for Mother's Day. They are all grown up now and take great care of Jill. They even volunteer all the time to take care of their younger sister, who is much younger than they are. I've been careful not to ask them much about the time that they spent with my ex-wife and her husband. But one day, back when my daughter was in high school, I was driving her to school when suddenly...
I'm really sad that Mom died, but I'm also very glad that Jill is our new mother.
When she said that, I looked out the window and laughed to hold back my tears. I was just so happy that Jill's love had been reaching them.
Thank you, both of you. I'm so proud to be your mother.
You guys were such brats when you were younger. Jill always treated all three of our children like her own. She never complained or badmouthed them, and never even acted like she was bottling anything in. I wanted to show my gratitude too. You're such a great mother, Jill.
Huh? What is it, all of a sudden?
It's been 10 years since I asked you to be their mother, but looking back, I'm so grateful about how wonderful you've been to them.
Oh, but...
Huh?
I do remember being worried that I may not be able to love them. Well, I guess there was nothing to worry about there.
Oh, I didn't know. You never showed your concern.
I know.
Jill always laughs everything away like that. I know I'm not the only one that has been saved by her laugh. Their parents suddenly passed away, and they suddenly had a new mother. The biggest reason that they were able to make it through all of that in one piece was thanks to Jill for being such a great wife and a great mother. I'm sorry about everything that I put you through, and I'm also very grateful that I met you, Jill. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart. I held Jill tightly in my arms.
Thank you too, Jack.
She giggled lightly in my arms.
Oh yeah, where's my present, by the way, for all of my hard work?
Don't worry, I didn't forget. I was planning on giving her my gift after our kids had left.
Yay, I'm excited.
She was just joking around when she asked, but when I told her that I had one, she seemed a little embarrassed and tried to laugh it off to hide her embarrassment. I had my children help me choose the gift to show my gratitude, and my desire to be with her forever. A simple ring that matched her perfectly. It wasn't her birthday or Christmas, so I'm sure that she wasn't expecting such a nice gift. It made me smile to think of what kind of expression she would make when she opened the box.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.